So we're still finishing up 5.8, which is solving application the Pythagorean theorem. Yes. And then we will start simplifying square roots and the quadratic formula. So we're good. Let's start. Yeah. All right. Share that stuff. Now, I have to open the previous file, right? File. All right. So we did this last time. Applications involving geometry, applications involving numbers. And let's do the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Pythagorean theorem. Alright, so when can we use the Pythagorean theorem? When we have a, yes, what type of triangle? Right triangle. Yeah. So this triangle is a right triangle. It can only be used for the right triangle. What if it's not a right triangle? Then you have to use cosine law. Yeah, when you take trigonometry later on, if you do take trigonometry, then we can use cosine law. Yeah. But this is a right triangle, and it has two legs. The legs are called A and B, and this is called the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is called C. So length of legs is A and B. A and B. So they are interchangeable. But the length of hypotenuse is C. So C is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Yeah, so the hypotenuse is opposite the 90-degree angle. All right. So Pythagorean theorem for right angle. Triangle. What does the Pythagorean theorem say? It's that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Yeah, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. The proof is in geometry, so if you take a geometry class, you will have a proof. Yeah, you can prove this. Now, let's do some examples of applications that require Pythagorean theorem. So let's write those down. All right. Let me see. Okay, let me see what Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Construction or ladder. Yeah. So for example, and has a 26 feet ladder leaning against her house. If the bottom of the ladder, is 10 feet from the base of the house, okay, how high does the ladder reach? So Anne has a 26 feet ladder leaning against her house. What am I going to do? 26 feet ladder? Or maybe I have to change one of the bulbs outside. Maybe I have to clean the gutter. Okay. Since it starts raining now, we have to clean the gutter so that the water can fall through. So let's draw these. So whenever we are drawing, maybe we will wait for step 1. Let's do step 2 first. So suppose this is my house. And what about the ladder? The ladder is leaning. Okay, so it's like this. Well, not too good. Drawing. So maybe more like this. Okay, so it's not leaning too much. Okay. Now let's label. N has 26 feet ladder. So which one is 26 feet? Which one is one? This one? This one? The hypotenuse, so yes, this is 26 feet. So this is the length of the ladder. And the bottom of the ladder is 10 feet from the base. So which one is 10 feet? Which one, the bottom or this? The bottom? Okay. And you're being asked the height. So you can call it H or X, doesn't matter. So if I call it H, then in step 1, I will write down height. H is height of the ladder. Okay. Good. Now, what do we do next? Let's see here. Can we use the Pythagorean theorem here? Or no? Yes. Why? Because I have a right triangle, so I could use the Pythagorean theorem. So it says a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we will write the theorem first. Do we know a and b? Just b. But a we call it h, right? So h squared plus 10 squared is equal to 26 squared, right? So h squared plus 100 is equal to, what is 26 squared? What is 26 squared? I don't know either. So either we calculate using by hand or 676? Yeah? Okay. So 24 squared is 576, but 26 squared is 676. Okay. Good, now I know. So now, what is h squared? So second 100 both sides, so h squared is equal to 576. Now, how do I solve for h? We take square root of both sides, right? Okay. Usually we put plus or minus here, but this is height. Height is always positive. So this is 24. All right. So this is step 4. Yeah. How high does the ladder reach? How do I answer that? The ladder reaches, yes, the ladder reaches 24 feet. Yes? Okay, good. Easy? Let's do another one. Okay. Now, I'm going to write it on a different page. Are you ready? I talked about archaeology. Archaeologists have discovered that the 18th century garden of the, I don't know, Charlotte Carroll House. I've never heard of this. Have you heard of this? Charlotte Carroll House in Annapolis, in Maryland. Was a right triangle. So the garden has a form, has the shape of a right triangle. Yeah. One leg of the triangle was formed by a 400 feet long seawall. So it's next to the sea, next to the seawall. The hypotenuse of the triangle was 200 feet longer than the other. What were the dimensions of the garden? So what were the dimensions of the garden? Okay. So, what would you like to do here? Draw it first, right? What am I going to draw? Rectangle or what? Triangle? What type of triangle? Right triangle. Now, what do we know about this right triangle? One leg is 400 feet. So that's right. Which one should I label 400 feet? The hypotenuse? No, it's just the leg, right? 400 feet. What else do I know? The hypotenuse of the triangle was 200 feet longer than the other leg. So how do I write 200 feet longer than the other leg? X plus 200. So the other leg should be X. Right? So X is the length of the other leg. So let me just use the other leg. And then X plus 200 is the hypotenuse. Okay, good. Factoring. What's the equation? Pythagorean theorem. So we have to write down the Pythagorean theorem. What is it? A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. What is A squared plus B squared? So the A and B are interchangeable. I could say the A is the 400 and the B is X, or I could say the A is the X and the B is 400. So it doesn't matter for A and B, yeah? So 400 squared plus B is X squared is equal to X plus 200 squared. Can you solve it? Okay, so why don't you solve it? I will wait. So this is 16, 4 zeros times x squared is equal to, what is x plus 200 squared? How would you find x plus 200 squared? You have to do what? FOIL, yes. X plus 200, x plus 200. So 160,000 plus x squared is equal to x squared plus 400x plus 4. Okay, so now the x squared cancels. Lucky, x squared cancels, right? Otherwise, you have to use, you have to factor. It's a very big number. So, what would you do next? Subtract 40,000. Okay. So 400x is equal to 120,000. And how do we solve for x? Divide both sides by 400. Okay. So x is equal to 300. Okay. So that's 5. So what are the dimensions? So it's asking what are the measurements for the sides. How do we answer this? The other leg is how many feet? 300 feet. What about the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is, if the other leg is 300, what about the hypotenuse? 500? How do you get 500? Yeah, x plus 200. Yay or nay? Doable? Okay, good. So the hypotenuse is 500 feet. Yeah, so we're done. So basically, if we have a Pythagorean theorem that we need to use, what do we do? Well, we will just write down the formula and then substitute the value for each, including the A and the B and the C. Yeah? Including if we already have a variable X or H, so we will just substitute it. Make sense? Yeah. Can we move on now? I'm done with 5.8. Can I clarify anything before we move on? No, are we good? Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. I'm done with 5.8. So let's simplify. Let me close the sharing. This one. Let me close this. Okay. And we will start. We're done with solving applications, which is 5.8. And this is the supplement for chapter 5, simplifying square roots and the quadratic formula. Yeah, okay. We're done with chapter 5, and this is the supplement. So on your homework, it's going to say 5.x or 5.supplement. I think it will say 5.supplement on the homework. Yeah. So please do the homework. 5.supplement. Okay. Oh yeah, I noticed that I haven't really closed anything. When do you want me to close them? On Sunday? Yeah. Okay. So whatever I didn't close, I will close them on Sunday, including the. I think we will finish 5.8. Yeah. So on Monday after Thanksgiving, can you guys bring your sample files? Yeah. So bring the sample files. Okay. And try to work on it before and ask me questions in class. The last 20, 30 minutes. right? Because our test is on Tuesday, right? And then Wednesday or Tuesday? That's so long though. So I think we finished today. So you want Wednesday? But I will start chapter 6. Yeah, okay. So Wednesday is fine. Just make sure you have to remember the material. Yeah, because otherwise it's too long. Now let's try simplifying square roots and quadratic formula. Let me, I haven't really shared the desktop. Let me do it. All right. So I'm going to write 5 dot supplement. This is actually simplifying square roots and the quadratic formula. So let's talk about perfect squares first. Perfect squares. What numbers are perfect square? What is 1 square? 1. What is 2 square? 4. 3 square? 9. Continue. 16. What else? 25. 36. Then 49. 8 square? 64. 9 square? 81. 10 square? Okay. 11 square? 121. 12 square? 144. 13 square? 169. 14 square? 196. 15 square? 225. Yeah, it's better if you memorize this part. Yeah, all the perfect square. And we also know 24 square is 576. 25 square is 625, right? And today 26 square is 676. Yeah. So why do I need you to memorize this? Because this is why. So because we want to simplify square roots. Yeah. Suppose if I ask you what is square root of so simplifying square roots. A, perfect square. B, simplifying square roots. Simplifying square roots. So, for example, if I ask you what is square root of 25? 5. What is square root of 81 over 4? 9 over 2. Yeah. What is square root of 0.49? 0.7? Well, why? Because 5 squared is 25. And etc. Yeah? Now, what I'm trying to do is do something else. So basically, what we want to do is simplify something like square root of 20. So, how are we going to simplify square root of 28? So what we're going to do is factor out the perfect squares from 28, the largest perfect square. Well, let's write down. We simplify square roots if it is perfect square, it's good. Okay? But if it's not, then what we're going to do is factor out the largest perfect square from the radical. The largest perfect square. Alright. So in this case, what is the largest perfect square you could factor out from 28? 4? Yes. Yes. So yes, you're right. So this is square root of 4 times square root of 7. So square root of 28 is square root of 4 times square root of 7. What is square root of 4? 2. So this is 2 square root of 7. Yeah. So square root of 4 is square root. Why? Because square root of 4 is 2. But what about square root of 7? Well, there's nothing we could do because 7 is not a perfect square. Yeah, so it has to stay inside the square root. Now, what about if I ask you to simplify square root of 200? What would you do? What is the largest perfect square that I can factor out from 200? Okay, so this is square root of 100 times 2. Or you could split out the square root, it doesn't matter. Now, what is square root of 100? 10. What is square root of 2? Well, 2 is not a perfect square, so it just has to be square root of 2. The 2 still has to stay inside the square root. The 100 can get out. When it gets out, it becomes 10. Square root of 100 is 10. So square root of 200 is 10 square root of 2. Yeah? Yes. This is multiplied. 10 square root of 2 means 10 multiplied by square root. It's like 10a. What does 10a mean? 10 multiplied by a. Same thing. Good question. Yeah. So this is 10 multiplied by square root. 10 square root of 2. Good. Now what about, can you simplify square root of 80? Now let me give you some. Square root of, what other numbers do you like? 56? What other numbers do you like? Square root of 75 maybe? Okay. Easy. Why don't you try it? So it's here. And then is Hammer here? No. Lily is also absent, right? Okay. So absent is Lily and Hammer. Who else? So tomorrow, there's no class tomorrow till Sunday. Yeah. So Thursday till Sunday, college will be closed. Are you done? With square root of 80, square root of 56, square root of 75? What perfect square can you factor out from 80? The largest one. Which one? 16 times 5? Okay, what were the other answers? 4 and 20. So you have to choose the largest one, right? So it's 4 or 16 is the largest one? 16. So it's 16 times 5. So you have to choose the largest perfect square. Good. How about square root of 56? What largest perfect square can I factor out from 56? Isn't it? 8 is a perfect square? No, so it's not 8 then. It has to be a perfect square, because if it's not a perfect square, it doesn't get out of the square root, remember? Is 14 a perfect square? Oh, you mean 4 times 14. Yeah, so 4 is a perfect square? Yeah. Good. How about 75? What perfect square can I factor out from 75? 25 times 3. So then you know the answers to each of them, right? So square root of 80, so this is square root of what? 16 times 5. Can I say 4 and 20? Well, no, you have to factor out the largest perfect square. Otherwise, you still have a perfect square. So I'll do the using 4 and 20 later in a little bit. But what is square root of 16 times 5 here? 4 square root of 5. Now, what about if you say, okay, so this is some notes. This is actually really good. Square root of 80 is equal to square root of 4 times 20, right? So what is square root of 4? 2 square root of 20. But I could still simplify. I can still simplify the 20. Can I still factor out the largest perfect square from 20? Yes, which is 4. So this is square root of 4 times 5. So this is not completely factored out. It's not completely simplified, square root of 20. So now the 4 gets out again. What is square root of 4? 2, and then I have to multiply it by this 2 is outside. So 2 times 2 is 4 square root of 5. So it's the same. It's just that you have to do more steps. Yeah? So the easiest way is to factor out the largest perfect square. So in this case, the largest perfect square between 16 and 4 is 16. Doable? Okay. Now, square root of 56. Can it be simplified? What is square root of 56? 4 times 14. Yes, 4 times 14 is 56. Now, what is square root of 4? 2, so this will be 2 times square root of 14. Yeah. Yeah. Last one, 75. Square root of 25 times 3. So what is square root of 25? 5 square root of 3. Well, some square roots cannot be simplified. For example, what is square root of 10? Can you simplify square root of 10? No, you can't. So if you can't simplify, then we're done. Or something like square root of 7. Can you simplify square root of 7? Cannot. So it's just going to be square root of 7. Yeah, so some square roots we cannot simplify. So should we talk about the quadratic formula now? This is important. Yeah. So C, the quadratic formula. So we use it all the time. So this one you have to memorize. Yeah. So the solution of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is given by the quadratic formula. Does anybody know what it is? Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And there's a sum also, right? Yeah, the pop goes the weasel. So, well, I was going to find the YouTube video if later on we have time. Okay, you want me to find it? So let's do it now. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube. And watch it. And you can sing it. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So YouTube. Quadratic formula. And then pop. Pop goes the whistle. Okay, here. Let me make the sound big. Yes? Are you gonna memorize it? Yeah? Okay. So if you want to memorize it, oh, what is this? Well, this one looks cute, but that's all. Okay, anyway. Anyway, let's go back. Alright, let me see. So if you go to YouTube and then just press the quadratic formula, pop goes the whistle. Quadratic formula, pop, or something like that. Yeah? Anyway, you have to memorize it. X equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yeah? Extra credit for who wants to say? Okay. Well, anyway, let's continue. This is called the quadratic formula. What is A? A is the coefficient of x squared. What is B? Coefficient of x. What is C? That's the constant. Yeah. And the quadratic formula can be used if the equation is in standard form. Alright. So should we do an example? Yes. So it can be used for anything. So sometimes we cannot solve it, but we cannot solve by factoring, so we have to use the quadratic formula. Yeah. If we cannot solve by factoring, then we have to use the quadratic formula. Let me find it. I think this is in here. So here, this one. Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. So for example, solve. If you can solve it by factoring, go ahead. If not, then we use the quadratic formula. Number 1. X squared minus 8x is equal to 7. And then number 2. Let's see what else. X squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. And then number 3. Maybe number 3 do it here. 3x squared is equal to negative 7x plus 2. Alright. So these 3 problems. So, let's see. X squared minus 8x. What is this? What are we supposed to do? Standard form? Yes. So x squared minus 8x minus 7 is equal to 0. Yes. Perfect. Is it factorable? Then you try to factor, right? This is your standard procedure. Is it factorable? Product is equal to negative 7. Sum is equal to negative 8. So is it possible or not? Yes, no? Do you find your numbers? Product is negative 7, sum is negative 8. No, so this is not factorable. I cannot solve these by factoring, so I need to use the quadratic formula. Yes. But it's always good to check if you can factor it or not. Yeah. So what's the quadratic formula? Yes. Plus or minus square root. So you can sing. So remember. B minus 4AC all over 2A. Well, I mean, am I giving myself extra credit? Am I giving my singing? Okay. So that's how we memorize stuff. We can sing, but I expect you to memorize the quadratic formula. Yeah. So what's negative b? So be careful. What is b in this case? b is negative 8. So what is negative b? It becomes positive 8. Yeah. So because b is negative 8, so a negative of negative 8, this is positive 8. So 8 plus or minus square root of 64 minus 4 times A. A is 1 times C. C is negative 7. Yeah. So this is over. I cannot be over 2A. Oops. So 8 plus 9. Divided by, what is this? 2 times what? 2 times 1 is 2. So this is 8 plus or minus square root of, what is this? 64 plus 28. What is 64 plus 28? 92? Over 2. Okay. Now, we have to simplify square root of 92, if possible. What is square root of 92? So this is my scratch. Okay, so this is my scratch. Anything that I could factor out from 92? Any perfect square I could factor out from 92? Four. Yes, so 4 times 23. So what is square root of 4 times 23? 2 square root of 23 divided by 2. Okay. Now we have to be careful with the denominator. Which one is divided by 2? Everything. So 8 divided by 2. Can we simplify this? Yes, but we have to divide everything by 2, right? So the 2 belongs to both 8 and 2 square root of 23. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus or minus, what is this? 1. 1 we usually don't write. 1 square root of 23. Just that we don't write the 1. So it is 4 plus or minus square root of 23. Okay. So how many solutions do I have? 2. What are the solutions? 4 plus square root of 23, and the other one is 4 minus square root of 23. So that's why you have a plus or minus. Yeah, we have 2 solutions. All right. How are we doing? Are we doing good? Okay. Can you try 2 and 3? All right. And then after that, we're done. You have Thanksgiving holiday. Happy Turkey Day. So who's going to eat turkey tomorrow? Oh, okay. Not too many? How about the others? Chicken? Salmon? Okay. Oh, I usually don't cook turkey either. Yeah. My kids, for some reason, they don't like to eat turkey. So we eat lobster usually, or steak, or lamb. So not turkey. No, during Thanksgiving we usually eat lobster. Are you done? No? Okay. Finish? Yes? Still working? So should we discuss it now? Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, so let's discuss it now. All right, so let's see. Is it factorable, first of all? No. So we have to use the quadratic formula, right? So x is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. So Jasmine, can you tell me what is this one? Negative b plus or minus? So what will this be? Negative 5 plus or minus square root of 25 minus times negative 3, good, divided by 2 times 1. Yes. So let's see, who wants to do it next? Noemi, you want to continue? Negative 5 plus or minus what? So this is 25 plus 12, which is, yes, 37 divided by 2. Okay. Now, can we simplify these? Square root of 37? No, so we're done. Yeah, so there's nothing you can do, right? So how many solutions do I have? 2. What are they? Negative 5 plus or minus square root of 37 all over 2. So remember, it's all over 2. So the 2 is the denominator for negative 5 also. So don't write it like this, negative 5 plus or minus square root of 37 over 2. Yeah, so over 2 is all over 2. Yeah, so the 2 is the denominator for all of them. And what is the other one? So one is plus, the other one is minus. Negative 5 minus square root of 37 divided by 2. Where's that? Yes. The box is fine, but in Math Excel you have to separate them. Math Excel doesn't take plus or minus. Yeah. So you have to write the plus and then comma the minus. Yeah. Good. Number 3. What are we supposed to do here first? Yes, bring everything to one side. 3x squared, this negative 7x becomes plus 7x, and this plus 2 becomes negative 2 is equal to 0. Alright, is it factorable? Well, the product is negative 6, the sum is 7, is it? So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, right? Is it possible? How about negative 6 and negative 1? Does it work? Well, no, the product here is positive 6, and I want the product to be negative 6. So yes, this is not factorable. Then use the quadratic formula. X is, write it all the time, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, and then all over 2a. So remember, it's all over 2a. Negative b, what is negative b? Negative 7 plus or minus b squared. What is b squared? 49 minus 4 times 3 times negative 2 divided by 2 times 3. Okay. So what is this? Negative 7 plus or minus square root of 49 plus 24. What is 49 plus 24? 73. All over 6. Yes. So square root of 73. Can we simplify? Yes, no? Can we factor out the largest perfect square from 73? Yes or no? No, so we're done. Okay. If you cannot simplify, then we're done. What is my answer? Negative 7 plus square root of 73 divided by 6 and negative 7 minus square root of 73 divided by 6. Alright, so 2 solutions. Yes? Okay, everybody good? Okay. Now, I'm actually done with the material for the test. Should we just change the test to Tuesday? Because we're done, otherwise it's too long. Yeah, so maybe we should have a test on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So Tuesday we have a test. Remember to print out the sample test. Yeah, and study them. Okay? Alright, so happy Turkey Day. See you back on Monday. Yeah. So please be here on Monday. And Tuesday we will have the test for chapter 2. Chapter 5. Including the supplements. Yeah. Okay guys. I will see you on Monday. Yeah. Fine. As long as you get the material, you have to study this. Yeah. Okay, have a good one. Alright, so we're done with simplifying square roots and the quadratic formula.